An officer at the Albion Correctional Facility was arrested yesterday for raping a female inmate. 29-year-old James Castonguay was charged with a criminal sex act, rape, and official misconduct. There are at least 2 victims. Castonguay was released and heads back to court later this month.
Again, good evening. We wanted to announce the conviction of Matthew Moore. Mr. Moore entered a guilty plea on this morning after 3 days of trial. Mr. Moore had been charged with rape, aggravated sodomy, false imprisonment, impersonating an officer, aggravated sexual battery, and aggravated assault in cases involving 2 Fulton County women who were brutally raped in Sandy Springs. One of the incidents occurred in 2010. Mr. Moore identified himself as a police officer. He flashed a badge and a firearm and pepper spray. And he proceeded to rape a woman at a hotel in Sandy Springs. The victim called 911 and where she was taken to a hospital and a sexual assault exam was performed. And part of the evidence that was collected in that case was a napkin. That took place in 2010. Some 7 years later, Moore, he contacted another woman through an advertisement, and once they met at the Hawthorne Suites in Sandy Springs, again, Moore brandished a knife and a firearm, which he pointed at the victim, and then he proceeded to remove the victim's clothing, and he then tied her up, and he positioned his telephone so that he could record what he was doing at that time. And he proceeded to brutally rape her for more than about 40 minutes. Once he finished this assault, he then attempted to use an object to continue his rape upon this victim. She then managed to escape, ran out into a hallway where she was able to let 3 other gentlemen know that she was being assaulted. Mr. Moore then managed to retrieve his telephone, and he was able to leave Fulton County and Sandy Springs at that time. So in 2017, some a year and a half later, we received, and along with the Sandy Springs police, a DNA hit. And the DNA hit not only involved the 2 women from Sandy Springs, but it also involved in 2008 in Homewood, Alabama, another incident that occurred in Cobb County in 2010, as well as the 2010 and the 2017 incidents that took place in Fulton County. One of the things that was found in the 2010 incident was a pair of handcuffs, and the pair of handcuffs were handcuffs from the institution where Moore worked. And as it turns out, he was employed as a correctional officer in Alabama. At the time that he was arrested, the police were able to find a number of items in his possession, which included the zip ties that were used to tie the victims, pantyhose, computers, cell phones, and sex toys. And one of the things that Moore had in his possession was the same videotape that he had made in Fulton County in 2017, and he still had it in his possession. I want to thank the Sandy Springs Police Department, who really did an outstanding job of putting this case together. It's without them, there's no doubt that that Mr. Moore would have continued to rape women apparently all over the Southeast. And one of the reasons that we are here to make this announcement is that we believe that in the Fulton County area and that in Sandy Springs, that there are probably many other women that Mr. Moore might have assaulted. And if those women are listening to this broadcast, we would certainly ask them to contact the DA's office or to contact the Sandy Springs Police Department, because what we have found is that the victims that we have interviewed and talked to in the process of this trial, they have been greatly disturbed by what Mr. Moore has done. And we believe that those women probably need some extensive psychological treatment. And that is one of the reasons that we would like for them to come forward.
Hello, y'all. Welcome to Bam Bam Raw TV. I'm Bam Bam, aka the 411 Giant. Hey, hit that like button. I want you to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you know when my next video coming out. On this episode here, we're gonna go back. We still on the rape phase, and this rape here is staff raping inmates. That happens again. It happens probably more than it happens. It happens average, I say. It don't happen as much as, again, I still stick to it. It don't happen as much as people think because they take different types of things. The levels of the rape by staff. You got several different levels of rape by staff. You got staff who mostly men who work at a female facility. The men's work at that facility. They see the nice looking little ladies and everything like that. The ladies is naturally being nice to them because they are over them. They control when they eat, what they get, what privileges they get. So naturally, it makes sense to be nice to this individual. Some of those people in their lucid mind and their lucid thinking, they begin to think that she likes him. Here's a pretty girl that he got a shot at that he wouldn't have on the streets because he ain't got no conversation, and the reason he got that job because he's at the bottom end of everything, and you know what I'm saying. So he need a job to have power over somebody else because he has no power in himself, and so he get that job and he see the lady and she being nice and everything. Then you come pull up on him. If he can't get the right advancements and he can't get the reaction that he want, and she get a little, give him a little rebuttal, now he's finna start making her life a living hell. He gonna start locking her in this or taking this away from her. When she file a complaint, the police is just gonna go along with him, and he gonna make up some kind of lie because he control all the documents, and then he makes her a life of living hell. If a rape happened after that, it's because he done forced himself up on her, or he done broke her down and used his authority to get her to do something. And at the time that she get tired of it, or she can't take it no more, and she go tell it or whatever, or she tell it the first time. Whether she tell it the first time or she tell it the 5th times, it's still rape and it shouldn't happen. But you got staff who does that. They got those jobs for that particular person. A right-minded person want consensual sex. A right-minded person is not going to be able even to keep himself steady if somebody hollering and screaming that you taking this him from me. How can their mind turn that into pleasure unless it's diluted? And so therefore, those individuals are already sick. They're already sick from the get-go when they do that. And they have done it in many places because they couldn't control themselves and everything. So that's a form of rape by the staff, in which they actually intimidate or forcefully take it. A lot of people don't know when a lot of the guys who sign up to be COs, for to be police in the prison system, A lot of those people failed. They wanted to be police on the street because they wanted to have power over people. They wanted to be, they never had power in their life, and they wanted to, when they dirty, they want to have power over people. They don't care about respect no more. They know they ain't gonna never get no respect no more. So now they want power over people. So they get a job, they give them power like that. Some of them, they racist. They racist and they want to get a chance to be able to dog out a black person or a Spanish person or whatever. What better place to do it? In the prison system, it's gonna be it's 80% minority, maybe 17% white. So you got and they're at your disposal. So you got, I mean, it's like a kid in the candy store. You get to beat up all the black folks, all the Spanish folks you want. And all you gotta do is write them a shot. And that's going, oh well, yeah, he did raise his hand at our officer. Yeah, but he was tied up. How could he raise his hand at your officer? Well, the officer said it. We ain't gonna bag the inmate, because if we do, we're gonna open up a lawsuit against the penitentiary system, against the prison. So that works against us too. So it makes sense for them to bag the officer, even if they know the officer done did wrong. Because once they agree that the officer done did something wrong, then that's when the prosecution, and then that's when the lawsuits come in. And nobody wants to be a part of that unless they're forced to. And so now you got these people. They wanted to be police out on the streets, but they failed a psychological test. A lot of COs that actually work in the penitentiary system failed the test to be a police. You look at them, when you look at that thing, you'll see most of them tried out. When I was going to trial on my lawsuit, when they had me in restraints for 40 days, it was actually 40 days, but they said 28 days. But it was 40 days they had me in restraints. And I got to see their records. I got to see all the little bull crap they done. I got records to show you all the bull crap that they done. They trying to run over the ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? They stealing gas from the gas pump. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And these sons, they all, 90% of the ones that was on my lawsuit had tried to be a police out on the streets and failed the test, failed the psychological test. And some more other ones, they come from the military, so they used to the people being under them not being their own citizen. Whereas in penitentiary, we are a citizen who had just been done wrong. But over there, they like, okay, well, this ain't my country, man. This son going from wherever here, or he from wherever here. So now there's a hatred, animalistic thing. He ain't none of my people. He ain't white, or he ain't American. He ain't this and that. And they feel justified in dogging them people out. So now they bring that same kind of hatred back toward the penitentiary system. You ain't American because you incarcerated. You ain't now one of my homeboys because you incarcerated. You ain't no human being because you incarcerated. And they bring that same feeling back with them when they come back. That's why most of them come from militaries. Their mindset, they can't go work in no grocery store. They can't work in no garage. Because if they see a Spanish dude come up there, they see a black dude come up there, they're going to be trying to treat them with crap, and they're going to lose that job in a minute. But that's taking it deep into it. But that's the other side of the rape thing. Now the third and most complicated side of it is consensual sex between a female inmate and a male officer, or vice versa. It would still play out the same. If an officer have sex with an inmate under the guise of his duty, in the process of his duty, wearing their uniform and their badge, that's rape. I wouldn't care if it's consensual, it's rape. It's just like forcing yourself on them, because they said that uniform is a form of intimidation, because you have the power to write that person up. You have the power to put that person in a hole. You have the power to take that person's property. So it's more leaning toward where the girl had sex with you because she's scared of all what you could do to her. Not because she lacked you. Even in some situation where it is. That's the way they have to look at it. And that's why best deal they can get out of it, if they ever caught with that, if the girl don't press charges and don't file a lawsuit, they can probably get fired for malfeasance on the job. But most of the time, they're going to get, it's a rape case. You cannot have consensual sex with an inmate if you working for them people wearing that uniform. If you're supposed to be upholding the integrity of that penitentiary, you can sign different things, integral things that you can and cannot do. And getting sexually involved or physically involved with an inmate is one of them you don't do. So that would still be considered rape. If a girl and an officer going together and they having sex, and the folks walk in there and catch them, that's a rape charge for him. As simple as that. And I mean, that's how the law works. If you look it up and everything, but those are different forms of the rape that goes on. But again, I say these things are bad. They're very, very, very bad. And people suffering from it. You got people who can never pop back from it. Because they're so bad and they hurt to the bone and they are such a serious situation, I don't think it should be played with. I don't think it's that much. It shouldn't. I mean, y'all entitled. People got to do what they feel they got to do to go viral. But I just, when I'm listening to people saying stuff, and I know good and well things are different, and I sit there and I remain silent because I don't do the little catfight thing. But you shouldn't play with that because some people hurting. It's people somewhere seriously hurting over what happened to them. Probably never be the same again in their life. I don't know. Like I said, but that's my opinion. I'm gonna speak my opinion because this is my podcast. I'm Bamm, and I'm the 411 giant and going on. So I mean, I'm gonna speak my mind on this and I'm gonna tell y'all the truth as best as I know it. If I make a mistake on something, y'all call me on it. Y'all hit me up on my YouTube on the comments going on. I quickly go to it. I'm gonna answer back. If I see it, I can go to it. If I ain't got an answer for you, I'm gonna say, man, I don't understand what you're saying. Explain it to me, or else I'm gonna hit it and going on. If I can't explain it to you, I'm gonna hit it. I still like the fact that you took the time out to view my video. I ain't gonna never sit there and brush you off. The fact that you took time and view my video, you can be saying something I don't like or whatever going on, then you're entitled to that. You can say something I disagree with 100%. If I don't have the knowledge or the ability to tell you something that you will learn from it, or I can tell you where you're mistaken or show you where you're mistaken in the situation, I'm going to keep my mouth closed. But if I can, I'm going to get at you and say, well, no, you're looking at it this way. You misunderstood this and this or that, this or that, and this or that. And I'm going to do that. Because if you take your time to watch my video, I'm going to take my time to respond to you. And that's, you can bet on that one. All right. Hey, I love y'all. Thank y'all again. I appreciate all the support I've been getting. And I want, give me more subscribers and hit that like button and hit that bell icon. And I got some stuff coming up for y'all. It's like I said, it's going into surviving prison. And how I know how to survive prison is because I did everything wrong. And thank God that I'm out here. So I wouldn't want I wouldn't want people to make the same mistakes I made. I want these youngsters to go in. God forbid, I don't want them to go to jail. But if they go and you got a 10-year bid or some bid, I want you to slide on through there and get back out here to your family. I don't want you to get caught up like me, catching more time, which I felt like I had all day anyway. So I was catching time because I didn't. And then even with that, I was wrong. I like shit, do it as much time as I got. I ain't no get back for that there. I might as well just go, this is where I'm going to be living the rest of my life. I'm finna make it comfortable. But it turned out not to be the case. So in a lot of good men, they gave back life sentences, 60 years, and 8 life sentences. So it's all possible. It's possible. And the way that you go in there, you need to go in there with that hope and working on your legal work and find your God and something to settle you down and keep you focused and work on your legal work. And it's a chance that you can get up out of there. And I've seen it happen to people that I didn't think it would have happened to, and I'm thankful for that. So again, I'm gone, and much love, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in on me. I need them subscribers. I'm trying to build this thing up. One love.
Criminal charges are now filed against a former corrections officer accused of sexually assaulting 2 inmates inside a state prison. News 4's Tanner De Leon tells us how investigators say they uncovered all of it. Tanner.
An inmate came forward with video of the alleged rape. The Department of Corrections then firing the officer immediately after. A short time later, another inmate claiming to be a rape victim came forward. D'Shaun Dixon, a former officer at the Mabel Bassett Correctional Center, now finds himself locked up, charged with allegedly raping 2 inmates. According to court documents, in March, Dixon was arrested and fired after the Department of Corrections received a video from another inmate showing what looked like Dixon having sex with an inmate. The DOC telling me in a statement, quote, "The agency was already investigating the inmate's accusations well before receiving the cell phone footage. Having the video certainly assisted our agents in expediting the officer's arrest and termination." Court documents go on to say investigators interviewed the victim after seeing the video to make sure it was Dixon. The victim telling investigators Dixon would bring her contraband in exchange for sex. Shortly after his arrest in March, another inmate came forward claiming they were also a victim. An investigation now leading to more possible charges against Dixon after being served a warrant for his arrest last month. The DOC also saying it is, quote, "committed to zero tolerance standard towards all forms of sexual abuse and sexual harassment between employees and offenders. Inmate safety and security are a top priority, and all accusations are treated with the same respect and urgency." Dixon has been charged with second-degree rape on the first victim and has a court hearing in January for the second victim for first-degree rape charges. He currently sits in the Pottawatomie County Jail.
A shocking charge that first surfaced in a civil lawsuit filed by a state prison inmate is now a criminal case. A Valencia County grand jury has indicted Guard Captain Kenneth Carrejo on 4 counts of rape for repeatedly assaulting a Los Lunas prison inmate named Kenneth Morgan over a period of 5 months last year. Morgan was able to collect a DNA sample during one of the attacks, kept it, hid it, and was finally able to turn it over to the FBI. If he's convicted, Carrejo, who is now retired, could face up to 48 years in prison. Morgan's civil lawsuit against corrections is continuing.